Hi, and welcome to this new section. Are you using Git since a while and you now realize that your branches are becoming a mess? Then this section is for you. In this section, we will talk about a way of organizing our work with Git that is called Git flow. We will start with explaining in detail what Git flow is and how does it work. Then we will use a source tree to create, let's say, Git flow compatible repository. And we will go through a full workflow, so starting from the first commit, then to a release, and then to an hotfix release. Then to conclude this section, I decided to talk a little bit about this tool that we use. It's called the source tree, and how we can perform the most common action using this tool. So starting from cloning the repository, make some commits, or stash your changes. Let's start with our first video. In this video, we are going to learn and to understand how Git flow works. We will start with an introduction to this model, explaining where it comes and which problem it tries to solve. We will also learn the usage of its 5 branches, so starting with master and develop, and conclude with feature, release, and hotfix. Everything starts with this guy that is called Vincent Dresen. I hope that the pronunciation is right. This guy back in 2010 wrote an article that you can find here scanning this QR code. The title is A Successful Git Branching Model. Eventually, this article became really popular, and nowadays, even after 7 years, this is still considered one of the most cleanest approach of working with Git. You may ask, why do we need a branching model for Git? The reason is that Git, together with all the most common Linux tools, is like a pocket knife. You could probably build an house using these tools, but nobody really tells you how to do. And if you just try to do, chances are that it will become a mess. So if you don't want that your next repository will look like this, this is an image that I found on the internet, better choose a branching model. This is the official representation of the Git flow model. It looks a little bit scary, but it's really not so much complicated if you look in detail. Now, because it doesn't really fit the screen, I will recreate this diagram piece by piece in the next slides, and I will put it horizontally because, videos are landscape, so I will have less problem to fit all the information into the screen. In Git flow, there are only 2 long-living branches. One is called the master, and the other one is called the develop. Develop is the branch that contains the code that is not ready to be on production. Developers do not use directly this branch, but the code is merged into this branch from other branches. More on this in a few moments. The other long-living branch is called the master. Master contains only code that is production ready. When the code is merged into master, it's even usually automatically deployed from the continuous integration system, like Jenkins, for example. All the other branches, apart from develop and master, do not stay there for a long time. They are just created when they need, and then are destroyed when they are merged into some other branches. I would say that the most important of the temporary branches is called the feature. We can have more than one feature branch if you are working in a parallel stream. So we should name the branch something like a feature / or feature minus something. For example, we can create a branch that is called the feature - new login or something similar. So this branch starts from develop and contains all the code that we need to implement this feature. And once the feature is completed, the branch is again merged into the develop branch and then destroyed. When time is ready and we need to create a new release, we need to start a new branch that is called, in this case, release something. So release - 1.0, for example, or release / 1.0. And in this branch, we can do everything that we need to do in order to release our application. So, for example, we can bump the release number, or we can change the changelog, or whatever your repository requires in order to be ready to be deployed. We will probably do not have a lot of commits into this branch, maybe just one commit that is about bumping the version number. And when we are done, the code is now finally production ready. so we can merge into master to start the deploy. Of course, all the changes that we did into the release branch then need to be also available into the develop branch. So we also need to merge release into develop. We already analyzed 4 of the 5 branches that are part of the Git flow. To complete our journey, we need to talk about the hotfix branch. This should be used only when something goes bad in the production and need to be fixed as soon as possible. So we cannot start these new branches from develop, because if then we release that branch, then it will contain code that is not production ready. So the hotfix branch should start from master. When the fix is ready, then we need to deploy this fix, so we need to merge again on master, but we also need to have this fix available into develop branch, so we need to merge back hotfix into develop. So this is the whole picture of the Git flow and how Git flow uses 5 branches to organize everything.